What's up, crew?
Hey, team.
What up? My notes. Trying to figure out where Phoenix is at.
I'm at UCF.
I saw like a tower or something. I was like, what is that?
Yeah, I'm at school right now and I'm so tired. So I'm sitting in the sun. I just feel like a lizard right now.
Hey, sun will give you that energy. I love it. Just waiting for a few more people to come on. Let's get on this Zoom here. I know that all right, a few more coming in. Annie, I'm gonna text my buddy Jason right now about that strip plaza.
Thank you.
How real are those folks? Like, are they legit?
He really wants to buy something. He just hasn't found something that he like is gonna make a ton of money on. Like he's flown down to Florida 2 or 3 times to take a look at properties.
All right. Let's see. Where is Lexus and Viviana? What's up, Kev?
Hey, how's it going?
It's going good, Kev. Kev even gets hung up on like saying, hey, what? Yeah. How you doing? Yeah.
Forgot my mic was muted and I was like mid-sip. You kind of caught me.
Stuff. Wendell, we still got to get Wendell that ring light.
Oh, come on.
I'll
turn my lights on.
No. You know what, Wendell? It's really simple, actually. You see that window that's behind you?
I was thinking the same thing.
You just
Yeah.
Just close it.
No. You move your
Face
desk
it.
in front of the window so that the camera faces you.
Oh,
and the sunlight
just like
shines in your
this.
face. Like, yeah. See, when you got backlighting, it makes you look dark in the front. You know what I mean?
You can get one of
That's
these
right.
off Amazon for like 20-30 bucks. You know what I mean?
There you go, Kev. Look at Kev.
Oh my God, I have that, Kevin. Look at this.
Watch you use that.
Yeah, like,
Okay, you have it
still
plugged
use
in? Okay. Let's start first. Plug it in.
Okay, let's do it. Oh, Bobby.
Let's plug it on in,
Okay, let's do it.
There you go.
Yeah, this is one of my blessings to
Yeah,
have an
this should
incredible
be-
team that I can.
Right, yeah. See,
Be
you learn so
part
much.
and
You've
then
already
they
learned
take
so much
care
of
of
this
me,
meeting.
too.
You're just like, you plug it into the plug and let me see. Let me turn it on.
On. Ah!
Oh my God. This is like literally you look happier when the light is on your face. Like, oh my God.
Oh yeah,
This is a huge.
I am very
It's a huge thing
happy,
we just
very
did.
happy. So
right, so-
2022 is a brand new year.
Brand new, baby. Brand new. All right. So, whoever's late coming in, cool. So we have some new folks. We're not going to have you introduce yourself right this second, but I do want to let you know how we kind of run our meeting. So we always start every meeting with blessings, and so I want to explain that. So we don't start with just wins or whatever. It's blessings. It's things that you're grateful for. It could be something in your life, something that happened last week, something you're proud of. It could be business related. It could be life related. it doesn't matter. There's no rules to what a blessing is, but we always start with that kind of tone and that kind of gratitude. So I'll let one of the team members, the other team members start, so you can kind of see what that's about, and then anybody else can hop in with blessings. So who wants to start blessings to show the new team folks how it's done?
I'll go first.
Annie wants to hop in. That's what I'm talking about.
So I am grateful and blessed to have a coach that calls me out on my shit.
Oh.
So Bobby called me out a few weeks ago because everybody knows that like I'm terrified of Gil. So I called Gil, talked to Gil, and now like I feel like Gil and I are cool. I called him like twice yesterday and I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. Like I need help, like inspection periods ending. It's like, all right, just do this and this. Long story short, I ended up getting my buyer $15,000 to go towards her, I guess the house, because it's a cash deal. So it's not towards like her financing, but I've never negotiated my ass off like that. And I honestly don't think I would have if Bobby didn't call me out and I didn't have the courage to actually call Gil and talk to him. So I am thankful and blessed that you did that and that I have Gil in my life.
Oh man, that's amazing. That's amazing. Because you need a little bit of that. It's funny because I could already see the change in you, right? Because like, you're starting, you kind of have that, like, you understand that you can get what you ask for, right? Like if you come at it in the right way. And a lot of other things have changed, Annie, because usually when you're doing these meetings, you're like in your bed and stuff like that. But I could tell that Annie did her hair. She did it like she coming in, she's looking at somebody right now, but you coming.
Celeste is asking me for Brandon's number. Does anyone have Brandon's number?
Brandon Milch, I'll send it to her.
Bobby's gonna text it to you.
Okay, thank you, Bobby.
You're welcome.
Sorry.
Well, that's a great blessing. I'm glad. So Annie, like some weeks back, BB and Phoenix was like, I said, like, I don't talk to Gil because I'm scared of Gil. And I was like, that's funny because I literally had just talked to Gil like 5 minutes before that. And I was like, dude, have you talked to Annie? And he's like, nah, I think she's scared of me. And I was like, that's funny. I was like, you both understand what's going on. So finally they talked, and then it was like, now they're besties. Look at him. Now she's negotiating.
Absolutely.
15,
and I heard you talking about my hair. I did my hair because I'm meeting Zach after this, and he's gonna help me do content for social media. So yeah, I'm actually gonna use him because I know he calls us out on that too, that we actually don't utilize him as much as we should. So I'm excited.
Good stuff. Good stuff. I love it. I love it. Who's next? Wendell, I think you're on mute.
So my huge blessing, of course, I just started as one of the coaches here. It's just amazing that he can talk and understand what's going on, because of course we need some help to get going. And 2022 is a completely different year for me. I'm very blessed to keep in track. And yesterday and the day before, I went to a great community that I love, which is Windsor Island. And one of the managers there, I just love him, and he's really connected with him. And I'm sending a lot of information for all the clients that I think that has potential for that. And one of those clients just replied to me saying that he's really interested in that community, and the price point is 600 and above. And the good part about that is 10% commission. So I'm very excited to that. And it was a great connection. So that's a huge blessing because, of course, 2022, it's going to be the year that I'm going to show everybody that I have potential and I'm in the game to win. I just didn't start this for nothing. And I'm putting a lot of time here and there. And I decided to really become one of the good agent. And I'm very excited too, because the border for the Portuguese people is open, and I'm seeing that they're coming in massive groups. So that's great.
That's
so
good.
I'm very blessed. for that too.
So
And
everybody,
also I have another one, which
okay.
is this lady here. I don't know where is she here. So Bibi Arcani, I have a great connection with her, and of course I'm very grateful and blessed to have her on the team too.
Fantastic. So you already got a fan, BB? Oh man, that's big. That's big.
Wendell's
That's
my
big.
day one, my day one.
Nice. I love it. I love it. And actually, I'm going to give you another compliment, BB, because I was meeting with Magala today, and she said you helped her out with the comp. So, you're starting to get a couple fans in the office. So I can appreciate that, and I appreciate what you're adding to people's lives and the culture. And congratulations, Wendell. And I will give you a special thank you and say that you were my blessing, Wendell, because you were the first one to tell me about Windsor Island Resort. And I actually got somebody under contract in that place because you had told me about it, and I kept all the information. And then, when he was looking for something, I was like, man, there's this other community I heard about called Windsor Island. And I took him out there, and God willing, that's closing in the next couple months. And that'll be nice. I'll take you out to dinner, Wendell. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, and just one thing more, because
You feeling good?
I would suggest, once we're talking about there, I went there and they just opened the clubhouse. It's an incredible clubhouse. So I would suggest for
To set up a meeting there?
yes,
Okay.
a training, and they have great places there.
Who's your guy there? Is it Robson?
Craig. Robson
Craig?
is not there anymore. So Craig is the manager there.
Craig Russo?
Yes.
Okay. All right. I'll reach out to him and see if we can set something up over there. Good stuff. Good stuff. Who's next?
I can go.
I'll go. Oh, well, she can go too.
Yeah.
She's new. Let her go. Let her go.
Hey guys, so I know most of you here, I think I've seen you around the office. So officially I'm BB, and just want to let you guys know I auditioned for this team last year when we had to make a video and they didn't let me on. So I came back again this
Not
year.
bad.
Come on, man, let me on this team. So they finally let me on. But my blessing, I turned 34 today.
Oh, happy birthday.
Thank you. And I'm happy and I'm healthy, and there is nothing that I can think of that I want that I don't have. So that is my biggest blessing. Everybody around me is healthy, and I'm glad to be on the team, working on my comp video. Hopefully I'll be teaching some classes in the office about running comms.
Nice.
And I can provide value wherever I can. But that's it. That's all I got.
Wow. Like, is it like literally there's 3 people in the office right now with birthdays? Like it's your birthday, it's Dan's birthday. He also actually turned 34. So you guys are
Oh, wow. I didn't know
like,
that.
right. Yeah. I just asked him. He just turned 34 today. And then I just walked into another agent, and it's her birthday too. So it must be like a rock star day for birthday. So welcome on board. So who else wants to hop in there? Dylan, you were going to go next.
This isn't real estate related. I guess it kind of is.
It don't
I
matter.
just wanted to give it a shout out because I got invited to the brewery tours, and that was cool. I didn't go to National Call Night, but I reaped the rewards, right? So
Right, man. That means that luck is in
that's
your
a blessing. I was just I'm 21, so I got invited by default.
Yeah. We're like the only team that's hard to find somebody who's 21 to go to like a beer brewery tour. We're like, all right, who's 21? Annie was calling me. I was like, oh, I don't think some of these guys are 21. And
It was super difficult.
Yeah, like a lot of people couldn't go, but hey, you know what? I could tell you that I got some drunk calls from Annie on the brewery tour.
Dylan, I asked Bobby to pick us up. He must like you. I asked Bobby to pick us up. He likes you a lot more than the rest of the team.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, it's the undeniable charm.
It's undeniable. I see. You're a lovable guy, buddy. You see, you can't help it.
It is,
And I went to the hood for that kid. You were just going to go to a brewery. Good stuff. All right. Let's get a couple more in there. I know I wish Viviana did. She had a monster week. Let's get at least one more strong one in there. Somebody step in.
I would
I
say
got one if
that
it's not real estate related though.
Don't matter. That's the whole point. It doesn't.
Uh, so if you guys have kind of at least followed along, like partially, next weekend, January 30th, I will be attempting to qualify for the Boston Marathon. So I'll be racing the Celebration Marathon next Sunday, the 30th. If you all are interested in going, I can always shoot you the address of where it is, but
Nice.
I would love the cheering. I would love the support if anybody is able to go.
Where did you say it was?
It's in Celebration.
Celebration. Oh, awesome.
So I have to run an under 3-hour marathon. So at least I can tell you guys that you'll be home by 10 a.m. Race starts at 7. So as long as I do well, you'll be out of there in 3 hours.
I might actually be able to. You know what? I probably swing. I can be home by 10 a.m. Yeah, I can swing that. Good stuff, man. Yeah, send us all the address, man. We'll see if we can make it out there. Cheer you on. I don't know if you guys know this. We got superstar, all-star athletes on the team too. You know, I mean, we're just kicking. You know, we're just rocking it in every aspect. Good stuff. Good stuff. There's not anything else we can get to. You got any more blessings, Dev? Anybody? Dev's got the glasses on.
No, I would say you want me yours? My blessing is probably just the fact that Corinne's class the other day, kind of mastering down, actually not mastering down, but seeing how someone else does it somehow changes your mindset or confirms how you've been doing it. Because I know a lot of us at some point you stray away from the script and you might feel like I'm not getting results. It must be because I'm not sticking to the script, but that's not all what it's all about. It's just about connecting. So connected with 3 people out of like an hour and a half of calling last night, connected with another person on my 5th call today. So I really didn't need to continue to do more hours worth of work because in my first 20 minutes got a really good lead that I'm going to convert and connected with. So seeing Corinne and just kind of reaffirm that we are doing the right things just by the intro and then being curious.
Yeah, definitely very helpful because that was like my first time actually seeing the actual conversation like right in front of me, like from start to finish. So, like it was definitely very helpful for me to get a better understanding and to, seeing somebody else do it really helps me out.
That's incredible. And so I'm going to make sure, I think I added all of you guys to that invitation. So that's going to be a part of our onboarding from here on out, which is part of my blessing is that, with Phoenix and BB coming on and like a couple of little like things like Viviana not knowing we had a transaction coordinator, like I just sat down and actually went step by step, like every single, like I put together a process for onboarding. And I didn't want to send you guys this because I felt you would have gotten pissed at me, but like I did like an official onboarding email that I sent to BB and Phoenix that nobody else has ever gotten. And it has like every single, like, here's everything you need to look out for. Here's everything, like, here's all the contacts, here's this, here's that. And it just forced me to be like, okay, wait, like we can't just assume that people know things and they come on board. So I just started putting all that together and we'll just keep tightening up. We're getting the logo down. We're getting the things down. I got a virtual assistant doing numbers on a weekly basis. So I know who's closing. I believe Annie, you got some 2 closings this week. Is that scheduled? Are those happening?
One Friday, which I do need to talk to you about that one after. And then the 26th. So the 21st and the 26th.
Okay. So one this week and then one the following week.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Well, congratulations. That could very well be a blessing. Tell me about, we're about to get into the thing anyway. Tell me about your deal.
So it's a cash deal. This is actually why I called Gil yesterday, because I was negotiating and I was able to get the $15,000 for my buyer. But the listing agent said only if we can still close on Friday. So Gil had mentioned how I can word it in the addendum. So that way the deposit is still safe, because I mean, obviously it's out of my control. We can close, we're ready to close. She can sign today. But Lily didn't put the exact verbiage that Gil had asked to be in the addendum. before I noticed that the buyer had signed and it was sent to the seller. So my issue is I reached out to title. She doesn't think we can close by Friday. So what would happen in the event that
they're not ready?
they're not ready? Because they have not received the payoff and there's an open permit. And so the listing agent has not responded to the email. She's not responding to my text. She never answers my phone calls. So I just want to make sure that my buyer is protected and still gets the 15 and or gets her $10,000 back if we have to back out of the contract.
Okay, so the deal you struck with the agent was they'll give you $15,000 back or off or whatever the case may be, and if you close by Friday. And that's what it actually said in the addendum?
Yes, so we're getting buyer and seller agree, seller to compensate buyer 15,000 at closing, and closing to be on or before January 21st.
Okay, but it's not contingent upon the other thing though. Like, that's not how it sounds like it's written. It's not like we'll give you the money if and only if you close on this date, which is the way you made it sound. It's not, one isn't contingent upon the other. It's just you put them both in the same addendum saying that we're going to close on this day.
Let me read the video. Because worried that I am not get. Buyer and seller agree. Seller will credit buyer 15,000 towards closing costs if closing takes place on or before January 21st.
Oh, so it's an if. Okay, yeah, that if. Okay, so yeah, I mean, at this point, it's just you have to talk to the agent. I mean, that's how you wrote it. They could technically say, "No, we're not doing it," but remember that they still want to close, right? So it's their fault anyway. You don't have to start off with that message. Just say, "Hey, so I know we have just signed the addendum. We're ready to close." I'm like, unfortunately, the seller's payoff and these things aren't here yet. So, logistically, it can't close. It's probably not going to close on Friday. So I'm going to be sending it. Go ahead and rewrite the addendum. Let's get it prepared, right? For a closing date that the title company believes it can meet. And just get it rewritten and just say, hey, look, it's closing on, you don't have to say it's contingent upon that. If it doesn't close on the date you said you were going to close, then you're out of contract anyway. They don't have to give you anything after that. So it didn't have to be written that way. It could have just been said, hey, we're giving you this and it's closing on this date. Because if it didn't close on that date, you're out of contract anyway. They don't have to give you anything, right? Like, you're not in contract. But the thing that you always have going in your favor is the fact that they still want to close. And in order for them to close, it's either give you a few days and give you what you want, or they're going to have to start this process over again. You know what I mean? But,
Okay.
How much is your deposit?
10,000.
10,000. Okay. Technically it's at risk. There's not much you can do about that, but once again, hopefully these people understand that it's their fault. And if they want to try to fight that.
My inspection period ends today, technically, since yesterday was a holiday. So does that help in my favor? Like, is there something additional that I can do?
Yeah, you can go ahead and send I would talk to, okay, perfect. So this is great. I thought you were definitely out of inspection period. All right. So here's what you do. Just, first talk to your buyer and say, look, if you want to be really protected, okay, I could send them an email with the new addendum and the explanation, since they're not responding to me, but I can also send in a signed release and cancellation just to protect you. But I will tell them in the email that I don't actually want to cancel. Okay. I'm just sending this in to protect my buyer because I cannot get a hold of the agent and I have to extend this closing due to the fact that the seller's stuff is not in. Okay. But tell the buyer that there is a risk that they'll sign that cancellation, right?
Okay.
That there's a risk that he'll lose this property, based on that. And as long as he's okay with that, and he's more happy about the fact that his $10,000 would be protected, then that's what you would do. I would just write an email, say, hey, Susie, hey, listen, I've been trying to get a hold of you, haven't been able to. So good news is we're ready to close. Bad news is that they haven't gotten the payoff from your sellers yet, or this other stuff, so that we can't actually close. And the way that we've written the addendum, it basically says that, you're not going to give us this deal unless we close on this date. So I've attached an addendum extending the closing date. So it's the same deal, but just extending the closing date to make sure that we can get that payoff in. But just to protect my buyer, because he's a little bit worried that we're gonna be out of inspection period today, I attached a release and cancellation as well. We don't want to cancel, just putting this in there to protect my buyer in case for some reason your seller doesn't want to give us the extra days that we need to close due to the things that they need to do. And that's how you would protect it from all sides. And that way.
Would you maybe like consider sending an addendum to extend the extension period on the inspection period until the permit is closed?
You could do that. I mean, we're asking for the same thing. I mean, we can extend the inspection period. Either way, she's not being able to get a hold of the agent. That's the problem. The problem is that extension of inspection period means nothing if it doesn't get signed by the other side. And if she can't get a hold of the agent who can't get a hold of the seller, then you're exposed. The release and cancellation is different, because if it's signed from your buyer in time, even if it's not signed by the seller, we can make the case that we put in the release and cancellation in time. And that's the difference. I agree with you. I'd love for that to happen, but her problem is she can't get a hold of the freaking agent, right? She could get this resolved today, right? So if she can get off this call and get on top of the agent and get the addendum signed that they need, then we don't have a problem. But if it's getting close to that, I think you have until midnight, I'm pretty sure. But
Midnight? Oh,
what'd you say?
Devin said it's midnight, but I thought it was 5. He said the new contract says midnight.
Yeah, the new contract, I believe, said midnight. Check it just to triple check it. But I think you have until midnight. But I wouldn't let it go past 5, to be honest with you, regardless. If you want to feel real safe about it, look, and if we can in the next 2.5 hours get this extended, then just, like I said, talk to your buyer first. Because they got to know the risk that it could get signed. Maybe they have somebody waiting in the rings, but look, you're a cash buyer. You're about to close. I can't imagine that they're going to do that. But if you want to be fully protected, that's how I would do. Brandon, were you going to ask something before?
No.
Oh, I saw you make a move. Good stuff. Okay, cool. All right, guys. So I wanted you guys to come in so we got 13 days left in the month. Okay. You guys, we had 3 closings scheduled this week, but I just found out that I think Jason, you have one this week as well.
No, unfortunately, I had 2 back out.
2 back out, but you had one scheduled this week.
Would have been for this week.
No, it was Viviana actually. Viviana.
Yeah, I had one, but we're switching title companies and we're waiting on an addendum from their title company because this is the one through Hubzu and they're based in India. So I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. It's probably going to be a week or 2 before we close, but I'm still waiting on the addendum for that.
Okay. No worries. But you closed 2 last week.
Yeah, I closed 2 last week.
Yeah. So that's Viviana's blessing. You missed the blessings portion, but that's Viviana's blessing for last week. She closed.
Yes, definitely.
She closed 2. So 13 days left in the month. And I want to know who can put a contract, in before the end of the month. Actually, 2 contracts in before the end of the month. But the question being is, if you had to put somebody under contract before Friday, who would it be? Kevin, do you have anybody? I know you set a few appointments. I was looking at your calls. Who's the most likely to convert for you right now that you could put under contract this week?
I don't have anybody for that.
You don't have anybody for that right now?
No.
Devin.
Me? Yeah, Mr. Juan Vargas. He's approved at 400,000. We got a meeting set up with a property manager, but I'm showing homes and we can write the offer. He's a referral from someone I closed in November.
Okay. When are you showing him homes?
I'm sorry, what was that?
When are you showing him homes?
Virtually, he's in New York, so I'm going to be out this week video touring. He can make a decision from that. He doesn't need to make another trip here. So I really could get him under contract by the end of the month.
Okay. You think you get him by the end of the week if you showed him something that he likes?
Probably, you know, we have a meeting set up with a property manager because it's going to use that as a short-term rental. So obviously numbers are going to factor in, but I can get him excited about something. Something came up yesterday. I texted it to him. So I just don't want to waste my time showing things that I know he won't decide on without any kind of numbers. But I would say Saturday, Sunday, I'm trying to get a meeting on Friday, Saturday, Sunday showings and write the offer.
Okay. You got anybody else who you can make a call to, like that could actually write a contract this week?
He was my best one. The next one would be Thomas Rakoff. He's actually works for a builder. But he's not approved yet, but he could apply and he knows what he wants. I talk with him. He's kind of delayed in his own thinking. So I'd be number 2. That'd be a little bit harder. And then Marilyn, I have another pre-approval for Marilyn, but she caught COVID. So I did need to follow up with her this week, but she's a pre-approved. So I have 2 pre-approved and 1 potential.
So what's his mental holdback?
I got to reach out again and find out. I think it was the holidays caught up with him and he took a trip out of the state. So, but I know he's not working with anyone else. He reached out to me, so I can make that happen.
Yeah. So, you know, in order to get somebody to make a decision, you got to give him a choice, right? So, you know, if he's like right now, we don't really know what's holding him back. And sometimes people are just making up stories, right? So we know what you said, he hasn't been pre-approved yet.
He's already done a phone conversation with Patrick. He's been sent the application and that kind of thing. He probably just got cold feet, but I can do more to initiate that. Yeah.
And even get Patrick on board with him as well. Like to say, hey, look, man, rates are going up. Like give him a choice. Say, hey, you know, I don't want rates to keep going up. Like I just talked to Michael Collier. Michael Collier is trying to do a cash out refi, and apparently his rate lock expired.
Yeah.
And it expired and it went up 0.375. So he went from taking cash out and his payment dropping by $100. And because he didn't take it, because his rate lock expired, now he's going from saving $100 a month on his payment to paying an extra $100 on his payment to get the cash out. So that's the price of waiting. Like that was 0.375% difference in his interest rate. And it actually it was a $200 swing. You know, so, you know, when you talk, say, hey, look, you know, I'm a little concerned. I just heard the story from one of the guys here that the interest rates just went up 0.375 and he went from, you know, basically saving $100 on his refi payment to paying an extra $100. And I'm just concerned that, you know, whatever it is that's keeping you from waiting is going to cost you on a monthly basis. That curiosity, what is it that's keeping you from just falling through on the process? You know, what's the thing? Because don't be afraid to ask people what they're scared of, you know, like, because there's always a reason behind the reason. You know, people always tell you like, oh, you know, I just got to do this and that. Yeah, but what's the real, you know, I always find that there's the reason and then there's a real reason, you know, like what's the real reason you haven't pulled the trigger on this? And let's see if we can get them talking and just listen to them, ask a ton of questions and be like, look, if I were able to basically solve every one of his problems, would you be willing to talk to Patrick today and just get this process started? Because I'm just afraid that, you know, it's going to cost you an extra couple $100 a month in a payment because of that, you know, one fear you have this, you know, it's like, I want to make sure that doesn't happen to you like it happened to my buddy Mike. So
that'll be my first phone call after this.
Awesome. All right. Noseworthy. Who's so you said a couple people you had and backed out or got pushed back? Tell me what happened.
They backed out. One was a house that the inspection just came back like
just burned the house down.
Pretty much. They were doing things to fix that weren't like proper fixes, and it was going to be a tight you know, financial so it just ended up being out of reach. They had a solar that needed to be transferred on top of that. It was just one of those things. It was just piled on. Yeah. And
do they still want to buy though?
Yeah, they do. So because of the financial restrictions, it's just there's not a whole lot out there. But I did find one today and I sent that over, so I'm waiting to hear back.
Okay. What's their price point?
200.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's tight.
Yeah.
I actually just heard about a property in Sanford that was like in the 200s. I was like, that shit still exists.
Yeah.
What areas are you looking at?
They're pretty open. They need to be like within an hour of the iDrive area.
Okay.
So it's fairly open. And it's quite limited. It's a large family. Just it has to be at least 3 bedrooms,
Right.
which is the primary issue.
Right.
So,
Good stuff.
then the second one was a condo. A gentleman looking to purchase a condo. And he just became unreasonable after the inspection, and it wasn't even like a terrible inspection. So he's a mortgage lender. He came off like he was fairly knowledgeable, and I just watched that one melt away. So trying to reach
What was
back.
this? What was his fear about? What was his?
There was it's a third floor condo unit. It had it's a original AC. It had one that's going to be a little bit more expensive on the home insurance side because the has R22, which I guess isn't manufactured anymore as the recharge element. So it
R20.
yeah, and the they were recommending that it would be replaced, the AC unit, and it wasn't really upkept very well. So it just became the thing, and it had a previous leak from probably
So are you?
over.
Are you able to save that deal though?
No, he
He's-
was worried about mold after the fact, but it looked like it was
No,
just
not that particular property, but does he still want to buy?
That's what I'm working on. He needed to like a cool down period, I guess, because I literally tried everything to try and save it, but he was trying to do some price gouging for the stuff that he was finding.
Let's get these two. These two can get back on board with just kind of a new fresh start with a new property.
Oh,
some
yeah.
new stuff for them.
Already
Is there
sent
any-
them out. Just trying to get them on the phone. So with
Good
both
stuff.
of them.
So
Yep.
we can save those before the end of the month. Anything new that we can put pending before the end of the month, most likely to convert.
It's another one. Was from a lead last year. I got her into a rental. She's ready to buy. But she's not easy to get a hold of. I've already put her in touch with Home First Lending. They haven't been able to connect. So I haven't been able to talk with her to see if there's, something else that she's worried about. She did mention that she's not sure about her credit, but she hasn't given me any information on what she thinks it is. So it's hard to. I'm still waiting to get information before I can.
You've called, texted, email, bombed, everything.
Yeah. So I got, like 2 weeks ago, hey, I think I'm ready. And then the follow-up has been like, let's set up and then reschedule.
Okay.
So this one,
just-
if I can get a hold of her, it may end up being one that is in the very near future. Because her lease is going to be coming up, I believe in April or May.
Okay. Well, just stay on her, man.
Yep.
Sometimes after these meetings, you have some luck. So make sure you call her right after the meeting and see if you can catch her.
She also did give me a referral. So
Oh, nice.
they're both on the same page though, not picking up or responding. So when I get
right after this call,
get the other one.
right after the meeting, you get on that.
Yep.
We got to change the energy. I need you to get up in energy. You can manifest this for yourself.
I
Get into peak state.
Get in the peak state, jump around. God dang. It's
Yeah,
like the
was
one thing.
sick
It's the
all
one
last
thing I
week.
always talk about you. Noteworthy. Like I need you to change the state. I need you to get energetic, man. I need you to get in that state where it's like, man, I'm gonna go after it, and then suddenly like the whole universe changes around you, man. I'm telling you. I know it sounds
Oh, I
food.
believe it. I was sick all last week, and also I had a death of not a family member, but a close friend of mine. So it
Just been
took
taking it out of
everything.
you.
Yeah,
I understand.
on the up and up, so getting all the energy back and back on track. So
Awesome. Good stuff, man. Keep working it. Real quick, guys, I have an off-market property. I think I've told you about this property before, but I want to kind of reintroduce it again. I have a townhome in the Dr. Phillips area, literally right there next to Rocco's Tacos, right on the restaurant row. It's a 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath. They want to sell it for $465, which actually for that area is really good. You know, they have it rented. They got a renter in there for $2,400 a month, but their lease renews or expires in March. They want to stay. I think easily could be $2,800 a month, or you could kick them out. So if somebody wants to buy, so $465,000. It's in a neighborhood called Vizcaya. I'll send some pictures out in the group chat, but this is one of those ones you're not competing against anybody really. Like, and it's, I mean, if you guys are not familiar with the Sand Lake Road area, it's very limited real estate. It's very high sought after real estate. I think easily in the next few years, this is a $550,000, $600,000 spot. They're already selling ones like this in 550, but they're like more remodeled, but like 600 grand. I mean, it's going to be so hard to find something like this in that little strip right there. So if anybody's got that.
I have a question on that.
What's that?
How long will they keep it off market before you actually go stomach?
I don't have a time frame on that. I don't, I've been talking to them about this now for about a couple months. Their sister in California gave me the lead, but I don't know what the time frame is. But I would just say ASAP.
And it rents at 2,500.
I believe you can put it up to about 2,800. To be honest with you, but currently the people are renting at 24. So you can definitely increase the rents after the lease expires in March.
My quick numbers, if you put 20% down and interest rate at 3.5, and assuming your HOA is 150 a month, is 2,300, 2,350.
Yeah, it's not a great rent. I mean, the return on the rental isn't, honestly, I'll be honest with you. I mean, maybe you make a few percentage points if you raise it up to 2,800. That's not why I would buy it. I would buy it because I want it. I want that area, and it's more of an equity play down the road. And once again, if somebody's been hard time finding something in that price range in that area, then they could just buy it. And then, at some point, just let the renter out and they can move into it. Now that it's getting close to the end of their lease.
Gotcha.
So, just keep it in mind. So,
I have a question.
Yes.
Is it zoned for short-term rentals?
No.
No. Okay.
So since you're talking, who's your most likely to convert right now? Who can you get on the contract before the end of the week?
I actually could get someone like today, but she's a nurse. She's a traveling nurse. I know. And I was told the LO had mentioned you need, even though she has 6 years with the job, you need 1 year of contract job. And she doesn't. Her 1 year is up in March or April. So she literally texted me right before the meeting and she was like, girl, I fell in love with this house. If only I could get pre-approved. And I'm meeting with Zach after this. So I was like, let me ask the VP if there's anything that we could do. But I literally could get her under contract ASAP if I could get her pre-approved.
So you said she's been a nurse for 6 years? She's been a nurse for 6 years, but she's working on contracts. So it's not
like a traveling nurse, they're like contracted.
Mhm.
So you have to have a year's worth of contract work history in order to get qualified, approved.
Who told you that?
Jocelyn.
You might want, if she fell in love with the house, you could potentially ask Zach about a bank statement loan. Okay. About how much does she have to put down out of curiosity?
Huh?
How much does she have to put down?
I don't know, honestly. She spoke with Jocelyn about everything. Jocelyn said she's not gonna have an issue getting pre-approved, and she's not gonna have an issue getting pre-approved for what she wants to, which is 500, that 500 price range. But I don't actually know numbers. Honestly, Jocelyn usually does numbers, credit, and all that.
Okay, find out how much from Jocelyn how much she has to put down. If Zach can't help you, then text me, and then I have a lender that might be able to do some creative financing on that. If she has like 20% down. But
Okay.
we'll see. But as Zach, also write down as Zach about a bank statement loan, see if that can be done. Do you guys know what a bank statement loan is?
Where they go based off of the bank statements instead of
Right,
like,
the average amount, they usually average out like your last 24 months of bank statements and say, okay, well, this is good enough for us as far as like, history. Like, we don't care that she had a contract. We just know that on average, she's bringing in X amount, per month in the last 2 years. The rates will be a little bit higher, but if she loves the property, we can get her in there. And if she got, if down the road she has the opportunity to refinance, she can. But as long as she can afford the payment, that might be a solution for her. Anybody else who you can get off the fence?
I have one that even Zach's ISA team has been trying to get a hold of, and he's a hit or a miss. Like, we'll have amazing conversations, but then I go like a week and a half without hearing from him. And Jason's trying to get him to complete the app, and he always says, I'm going to do it. I've been busy, and we haven't been able to get him to actually complete the application. And then I have another one, the one, I think they were my blessing actually last week, how I've been reaching out to them and they're now ready to buy. The wife was in town. So they kind of live separately as of right now. They're originally from Texas and the husband's here for work. The wife is in Texas and they're selling their property in Texas. So the wife was here and we were planning on meeting up on Sunday to take a look at properties, but I haven't heard back from them. They're ready to go. They've already spoke with Jocelyn. They are working on the pre-approval. The wife has said she just needs to finalize some things. I definitely should be able to get them under contract by the end of the month.
Okay. So anytime you get into this point where, people like, they want to buy, but like, they just kind of like either like stuck, like she's not responding back to you, or the other guy who's like not kind of busy. Let's give them some choices, right? If we want to make a decision, let's give them a choice. Like, like for this lady, you might just send her a property and be like, hey, do you want to go look at this house on Sunday? Like make her respond. Yes, no, like let's give them a choice to say yes to something. Be like, and then this other guy, what kind of house is the other guy looking for? The guy that hasn't filled out the application.
I haven't even got that far yet because I honestly didn't want to waste my time asking all those questions, and he wasn't really going to actually move forward, honestly.
All right, so why don't you send him something basically saying, hey, interest rates are going up, which means payments are going up. Do you want to go ahead and lock in some interest rates now before they go up? Ask him a question, give him a choice. Like, let's get him moving. Say, hey, interest rates are going up. Just spoke to my lender. And when we talked to Zach, I'm pretty sure they are. If it happened to Mike, then interest rates must be going up. So just say, I just spoke to my lender. Interest rates are going up. Do you want to go ahead and lock in the low rates now? Because you're going to be making a higher payment, down the road. And let's see if we can just nudge them and be like, you know what, maybe it's time, or maybe Zach tells you they went up. Hey, rates just went up, 0.25%, which means that like payments are going up. Like, now's the time, do you want to go ahead and get pre-qualified today? And let's get them off that fence. There's good reasons for people not to be waiting. And it costs money right now to wait. We just heard it with Mike Collier. So, but it sounds like you got three strong ones, like you could have 3 pending before the end of the month. Who else? Let's see. Dylan. Oh, go. You got more?
No, I said that's the goal. I wish I had more.
Yeah. Dylan, who you got?
I got a lead right now. I've been working with her for a while. She sold her house out of state, back in New Jersey. And she was like a bundle of issues. She hasn't filed taxes for like 3 years, and it's just, she's been just not ready, right? But now I'm currently in process of getting her pre-approved right now. So I'm just waiting back to hear back from my lender. And once we do that, I'll proceed as normal.
Okay. So she has gotten pre-approved or hasn't?
She's getting right now. Like she started the application yesterday.
Okay, perfect. Perfect. So she got all this bundle of issues taken care of, or is there more baggage that she has to do?
I'm not sure, honestly. I think she got it taken care of because my lender told me that there was no issues and that he would be able to get it pre-approved.
Okay. Cool, man. Anybody else?
Just, I mean, she's a strong one right now. And then other ones right now, I have a couple, Sam and Rosa. They're on the fence, but main issue is they just don't have like necessary funds for closing costs.
So out of curiosity, I see you've been making the most calls. Like you're the top caller in the past week. What results are you seeing? What's going on? Because you're making the most calls, but you think you're getting them, like, are you getting the appointments? Are you getting them on the phone? What's going on with those calls?
I'm getting a lot of, I'm not setting a lot of appointments, but I am having a lot more conversations with a lot more people.
Okay.
So
what do you think is keeping you going from conversation to appointment?
Maybe just how I communicate with people, but mainly, I don't know, the people I have spoken to just aren't ready. And if I do set an appointment, they're usually like a month out.
But you're asking them whether.
Yes.
So, but you're asking to meet with them regardless of, say, hey, I know you might not be ready, but I find that if we meet in person and I ask you a few questions, we can get clarity on that process. And you are turning the corner on that and getting them to that question?
Yeah, and I've been doing a lot better, and also just on top of it, follow up, bombing them like a week later after like a really good conversation. So I do have another one. I didn't claim him, but he was in the tank. I spoke to him for a little. I know I did claim him actually. I was gonna follow up with a bomb and another call. He's looking for a property short-term rent to do short-term rental with.
Okay, what's his budget?
And we haven't talked about any of that yet. He hasn't got pre-approved, so he's looking anywhere, like he wants to stay under 300. He's looking for a condo or a townhome.
Okay.
But what he really cares about is that him and his family can use it more than anything. That's the most important thing to him, because he's down here 2 to 3 times in Orlando anyway. So
anybody got some short-term rental properties under the 300 range? Any neighborhoods out there that you guys have seen, condo wise, townhome wise?
I don't have any, but I have a question. If you purchase a house and you're living in it and you want to Airbnb like the remainder of your rooms, are you allowed to do that, or does it have to be specifically short-term rentals to do that?
My understanding is if you live in the home, at least when they did the laws in Orange County, I don't know if it's in Orange County, the home, but basically as long as you're living in the home, you should be able to rent a room in the home, right? It's your home and you're in there. What you can't do is, leave the home and then just short-term rental it. If I lived in a no HOA area, I wouldn't worry so much about that. Because you can probably pull it off, but in an HOA neighborhood or condo and things like that, it's just short-term rental ain't gonna fly, because a neighbor's gonna complain on you and then you're done. But as long as you're living in a home, you should be good to go when it comes to that. There might be, what was the name of this? I'll look it up. Dylan, there's some places that I went and looked at maybe like 6 months ago. I'm trying to remember the name of them, but they might be in that range, somewhere in that 300 range as far as short-term rental. So I'll look that up and send that over to you.
Bobby, what did you say when people aren't ready? Sorry.
All right. Who was that?
I'll talk. Dylan, North Point Siena Boulevard. There's a bunch of short-term rentals, that's Kissimmee, that are well under the $300,000 mark. So if he wants 3 bedrooms, they're not always the fanciest, but definitely in that range. And then along, I forget whatever street goes across before that connects to Highway 27 under Disney. There's some townhomes in the 320s. They're nicer, probably built around 27 and newer. So there's some townhomes. Just show them townhomes. Like he'll get something, and once he's in it, once you do a video tour, that's when they fall in love with it. And the fact that he just wants to use it for his family means that rental numbers aren't really that important to him. So he'll break
Yeah.
even using it however he wants.
And he said that word for word. I don't care if it pays off my rent, but if it gets it down, then cool.
Perfect.
And show him anything, show him the most prettiest things, even if they're a little bit high, because he'll fall in love with that and he'll spend more.
Yeah, it's less about finding the property and more about just like poking him, keep poking him.
Well, that's what I'm saying is the property is what's going to poke him, right? So like we got to give him reasons to get excited, right? So
Okay.
you know, if you go to the property, you go North Point Siena Boulevard, you see the property and you, hey man, I just want to FaceTime you real quick, man. I'm here at the property. I just found this, man. I don't know how you know how long these will be on the market, but you know, I'm telling you right now, the market's really hot for this, and I wanted to show you because I had driven out here. I heard about this from one of my teammates, and they told me about it, so I came out here and shot this video for you. And that's the kind of stuff they'll be like, dang man. First of all, Dylan's like the best realtor ever. And second of all, I'll be like, man, we better get in on this, honey, because like, you know, he's right there at the property right now. So like, don't wait for the folks. Give them reasons to say yes. Give them reasons to get off the fence. That's what I'm trying to say is I'm always thinking about like, how do I get this person? Like if you're looking at your platform, you got your 20 hot leads in there and you're like thinking to myself, like this person, I talked to him the other day that was like, there's nothing really keeping this person back. Then I need to figure out how to get them off the fence. Like, what is it? What can I send them today? What can I tell them on the call? He like, you know, like you just heard from me. I don't care what it is. Be like, hey, I just wanted to give you a call real quick. You know, my team leader just told me about an off-market property off Sand Lake Road. I know you weren't necessarily looking in that area, but nobody knows about this property, and it's in one of the best areas in Orlando for the same price range you were looking at. Would that be something you might be interested in? Like, I don't care. It's just a reason to call them that you're like adding value to them, getting them off the fence. So always be thinking that way. Like, let's not wait on them. Let's bring them value and have them make a decision.
There's a property management company called Bacasa. They have Bahama Bay and a couple other turnkey places that are probably a good fit because while they don't probably have the craziest returns, they usually have pretty decent resort style communities. So
Vacasa, how do you spell that?
it's VACASA.
Dylan, type in Bahama Bay. That you don't need to sell them anything other than Bahama Bay.
Yeah, it's definitely under the 300.
Bahama Bay.
Yeah,
It's
there it
nice. You're 4 turns away from Disney. So that's all I gotta say. Hey, 4 stoplights and you're at Disney. So
yeah, pretty close to 192.
Thanks, team. That's what I'm talking about right there. Solutions. That's what I'm talking. There you go. You got a clap from Dylan. That's good. Viviana, was that you saying something?
Yeah, that was me. I was trying not to interrupt. Sorry. You said Dylan, like when people aren't ready, you say, I know you're not ready, but I find that if we meet in person and I ask you some questions, we can get some clarity on things. Is that what you said to tell them?
Just
okay, because I was writing it down. I just want to make sure I got it.
Yeah, I just
I get that a lot.
The main concept. Yeah, just the main concept is that getting ready doesn't happen when you're ready. Right. Yeah. So just say, you know, getting ready doesn't happen when you're ready. Right. So what I find is that if we meet before and we put a plan together and I ask you some questions, we can be prepared when opportunity comes, because you can't prepare when you see an opportunity. Right. You have to be prepared for the opportunity. So, you know, when people are like, oh, well, you know, I'm just not ready right now, I get pre-approved down the road. I was like, no, you get pre-approved now, because if I can get you pre-approved now, we can start looking now. And when we see an opportunity doesn't come right when you want it.
Yeah.
Opportunity comes when preparation meets opportunity, right? So I want to make sure that you're pre-qualified. I want to make sure that we know exactly the price point we're looking for. I want to make sure that I got you on searches that are giving you everything that you want and you need, so I can be on the lookout for you. Because things are popping up. And I use stories all the time. Like, for instance, I was just on my team call and my team leader just told me about something that's off market. That property won't last, right? That's 2 weeks, and you might, and you might get an opportunity like that might last another week. And we're still in the process, right? We haven't even met yet. I don't even really understand what you're looking for. So I just want to make sure, because my job is not only to show you what's on the market, I'm there to find you off market opportunities and other things that you might not know about. And, you know, It could be a new construction community that's about to sell out. I don't want you to miss out on that because we're still kind of trying to figure, we're trying to get ready. Right. So that's the main concept when you're talking to folks. It's like, this is something you have to have a plan for. Right. And you're not going to lose anything with me. You're at least going to get clarity, and I start to tell people, I'm not here to push you to do anything. I just want you to get clarity. So when it's time, we're ready.
Awesome. Okay, thank you.
Can I also share something that on the meeting yesterday or the training with Corinne, she mentioned that we get that people will say, they're not ready. But like Bobby was saying, you still want to make sure that you have a plan to execute when you are ready. For example, you're not ready to buy a house right this second, but let's get you pre-approved. It lasts 90 days. So that way you can also stay one step ahead of everything because we still are in a multiple offer situation. She said, so you still want to get in front of them and stay in front of them. So like following up is super important. A call that she made yesterday, we asked her, when are you going to be following up with them? She said tomorrow, whether it's a phone call, it's a bomb, it's an email, it's something, because what she's going to end up doing is getting that meeting with this buyer that quote unquote wasn't ready. So you always want to stay one step ahead of them and always want to, even if they're not ready, meet with them and just tell them we're going to be planning when you are ready to purchase in 1, 3, 12 months.
Absolutely. And that just reminds me of something that Dylan, you said, like, I had a great conversation. I followed up with him a week later with a bomb. And I think that's way too late. Like if you have a great conversation, Corinne just confirmed it. You should be talking to them the next day. Like, hey, or you should be sending them something. Hey, just want to say, hey, great talking to you. I've already been looking at some properties for you. And I don't know if you're free this weekend. I'd love to just start, looking at a few things so you can get to know whatever it is, because a week is like an eternity, especially if you had a great conversation with somebody. So don't be afraid to stay on top of folks, because if you give them too much time in between, then life gets, hectic. And then you think they're ghosting you, but it's just like, it dropped out of their dropped out of their mind. So yeah, I would follow up with them sooner than that, Dylan. If you have a great conversation, don't be scared to hit them up the next day and just let them know, hey, I just want to say it was great speaking with you. I want to get something in the books to go see some properties. Let me get you with my lender today so that we can get you pre-qualified before we go look, or whatever the case may be. But just don't be afraid to just push the ball, push. You know what I'm saying? That's why we're talking about 13 days left in the month. And it's like, dude, let's push, let's push. Cause like we can get comfortable kind of letting people, okay, like Devin said, oh, the guy has a fear about something. Well, I can't really remember what the fear was. Well, shit, let's knock out the fear tomorrow or today so that we can get them ready by tomorrow and start racking up the pendings. So, well, good stuff, guys. I didn't actually get to introduce the new members. I think we went right into it. I think I forgot about that. So, well, BB mentioned a little bit about herself, but let's welcome BB to the group. Obviously, I think Phoenix probably had to go. She was at UCF at the moment. But welcome to the team, BB. Excited to have you on. One thing that BB told me was that she's a master of doing comps. So, if anybody needs any assistance with comps, I know she's going to be a great resource on the team for that. And she even wants to teach a class about that, in the coming, weeks or months. So, we appreciate you, BB. We're excited to have you on, second go around. But, the one thing I know is that what's that?
Thank you for finally letting me on.
Yeah. But what I told BB was this, the first time around, it wasn't really, nothing's ever personal, right? We had to choose a certain amount of people when we started, but I think also that, BB, and I think you would agree, you're in a different mental state. And, sometimes you just have to get in the right state. And, and I'll give you props, Wendell. You came in with the right energy, today. And that's it. It's like, you got to bring the right energy to this game. And especially when you're a part of the team, because you affect everybody on the team. Right. And I can't stress that enough. Like, you guys, it's not just about how you're feeling. It's about the kind of energy you impart on your teammates, because, we're all fighting the good fight, and we need as much energy and as much encouragement and as much growth as possible. So, it has to be in that spirit that you come in and think. And I think that you would agree, BB, that you're like, you're like night and day from when we first, talk. And then a lot of that stuff was personal stuff, but you know what? Sometimes you got to take care of that stuff. And then you come back in the game and you're out, and now you're ready to go out and fight. So we're excited to have you on. Thank you for your great energy today, Wendell. We love you, appreciate you. And I'll see you guys soon.
Bobby, can I ask you a quick question about one of my transactions?
Go ahead.
For Hubzu, so we were supposed to close today, but we're switching title companies. When I spoke to them this morning, they're like, oh, we have to ask permission from the seller, and it's bank owned. So it's like a third party, I think, like that's the lister, I guess. But they have to get permission from the seller and then get an addendum written up, and then they're going to send that to me. But is there something, because we were supposed to close today, is there something I need to type up or something to protect my buyer? Because if they say no, then what's going to happen? Like, we just extend the closing date and we have to go with their title company, or
I mean, the only way to protect yourself right now is to get them to sign an extension of the closing date.
okay, so then do that.
Yeah,
then?
I would. I mean, as long as they
Okay.
agree. I mean, if it still has to go through, I mean, do you still have to go to a third party to get that extended, or would they sign that?
I think they would probably sign it, but I think they also need to get permission from the seller for that as well. I'm
Right.
not sure, but I'll call them right after this.
Yeah, go ahead and get it extended. And try to get it extended just to protect yourself.
Okay, awesome,
Right.
perfect, thank you.
All right.
Wait, last thing, Bobby.
Oh,
Important
go ahead,
question.
Kev. Big
Okay,
Kev.
okay, it's really not that important, but I saw Devin had a Davos polo.
Oh,
I would give a hand on one of those.
Sorry, man. Those are exclusive. I've been waiting for mine since I got in here.
Yeah, I would like one too.
First of
Something.
all, we're gonna be
Kevin,
getting.
you're gonna have to get in line.
Okay, so we're gonna be getting new swag anyway. But number one is somebody who asked me for the hat.
I actually asked for that.
Oh, yeah?
No,
Damn,
wait.
see, look, you got a line waiting.
Hold on. No. When we
No,
were
hold on.
at the marketing meeting with Corinne, one of you guys asked me for a hat. Who was it?
I think it was me. I don't know. I asked for a hat at one point, and I think
I asked you for a hat last year.
If I'm not wrong, I saw Annie with a logo.
Actually,
on
I
the
think it
hoodie.
was still 2020, dude. It was like December when we
I got
first
the
started
Global
Davos.
Alliance thing as a gift.
Man,
Honestly.
That's
I'm trying,
hilarious.
I'm trying to get all pimped out of all this.
All right, guys, we'll take care of that. I have a hat for who asked me for. Like Kev did ask me for a hat. I have mine.
Kevin, you could have the hat.
Yeah,
I'll wait.
Yeah, because I needed you to just do the haircut thing first. That's what that we were negotiating.
You know what? I
We were
think this is where I
negotiating
say
on that.
goodbye. You know, it's been a pleasure this week. I'll catch y'all next week.
All right. Hey, next time I see you, Kev, I'll have a hat for you, man.
All right,
All
cool.
right, peace, y'all.
All right, see you.